right, good evening. Let's crack this one open early. I know I had got the stream set up to start at 8 o'clock, but we've got 1.5 minutes before I can enter into this one. So we'll just come out for the moment, and then we will get into this one as soon as we can. And the idea will be that I will try and pick up Jack Kobe's car, and that will give me around about 15 minutes of practice before we get going. Hello Zach, good evening to you. Let's pop you across onto the big screen because in just about a minute we are going to be going racing. Like I said, about 15 minutes just to get warmed up, get the feel for the car, and see if we can do as well as we have done over the last couple of days. We've done 5 of these races now this week, and we've been polled to win on all 5 of them. Whether that's going to continue or not tonight, I really don't know. My DR is 29,974. I need 26 more to make A, I believe. But will we be in with any A rank races? Will we get clean races like we did last night? Will I be able to hit the front and run away? Will I get caught up in a lot of trouble and the DR tanks backwards again, which is normal for me? Who knows? It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens this evening. And so we're going to do this for an hour up until 9 o'clock, and then we'll be getting into some PSR lobby races with the guys. And then if things pan out, then I might come back and do some more at 11 o'clock if I'm not too tired. I did get a bit worn out yesterday, I'm not going to lie, and so I just need to be a little bit careful. We're going to pick up Jack Kobe. He's done a 1:47.088 on this Ghost, and it's a stonkingly quick time. One of the other things that I am going to do for immersion is I'm going to get my headphones on, which I should have done before. I can lose the volume on the TV now. We will get out there and just see what we can do. So like I said, 15 minutes initially. Got a picture Jack's lap time and his gears, using second for rotation in third out of the corners. We were up on the lap time on one lap last night, and then I smacked the wall heavily. Flow through there to lift. scared to living daylights at me going through there in the race. Probably one of the best exits I've ever done out of that corner. Oh no, just into the gravel there. Didn't quite get the entry in right there. Oh. Just kill that alarm. We don't need that running. Hello Zach, good evening my friend, thanks for popping in. Alright, fine, if I do this on the next lap, that would be good. Oh, I'm on the grass again. A little bit untidy this one. We'll keep going though. Just getting more panicky the closer we get to the actual race. Ah, it's so hard chasing Jack to try and find that extra little bit. Jack makes it look so easy, but it's so hard. Just to find those extra sort of 4, 5, 6 tenths of a second. Got enough. Just cannot get in there at the moment. 148, 166 and a 148, 160. Just cannot get into the 147s anymore. We'll keep trying, but for the moment, I'm just going to take a break for a moment before we get into the proper race. Oh. Just turn the fan on as well, just to keep it cool in here. Oh. Oh, we're with some A's now, and we're starting way down in 10th. So big change from yesterday. Lots of A rank races in here, and we are now going to have our work seriously cut out here for this one. Okay, yeah, now's where it all gets a little bit fraught. 10th on the grid, right in the mix. No more leading from the front. This is where I need to get a faster lap time. As soon as we start getting up with the A's, it all starts getting a bit difficult. So we've got a couple of B's in front, but this is where it's going to start getting tricky. Good evening, Greg. Good to go. I might wimp out on this one. Third will be an absolutely amazing result for me. So I might not get into an argument with this guy and just work with him. Took it a little bit easy through there with 3 seconds to the guy behind, so I'm not going to take any risks. I can just stay with Messi in front. Oh, final lap. Concentrate, Mitch. For once, we've managed to stay out of trouble in this one. So far, at least. Don't care about second, I just want to get third. Second would have been lovely, but third will be great. Ah, yes. Yes, 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 yes! Wow! Woo! Crikey! Oh, and I thought I was going to be in trouble in the middle of the field. We managed to stay out of trouble in that one, and it paid off. Oh, it paid off massively. Holy banana cakes. Woo! Oh, man alive. We got a podium. Oh, we got a BS Messi in front. What a race with Bike Rider and Messi. Oh. Where is it? Post race. Wow. Oh, I'm shaking like a leaf. Shaking like a leaf. Oh my word. Let's have a little look and see what the old DR has done. Let me just do a refresh up here, and I think that that should then refresh. I need to pick it up again. We are now an A. Oh, by some significant margin. We've just made 2,167 DR. Well, over that on one race. 2,170 odd in one race. Greg White says, get yourself a wagon wheel, mate. I need one. Oh, I need a wagon wheel. Oh, my word. I guess the problem is now I could lose that as quickly as I've earned it. But I don't think I've ever had 2,000 points in a daily race, ever, in a daily race B. Oh, that is incredible. Oh, my word. Woo. If ever there was a time that I needed to get my time down, now is it. Now is it. Now is where I really need to get that lap time down. No, I don't want to do that. What do I want to go into? Settings. I'm so nervous and shaking, I can't even think what buttons to press right now. I'm all over the shop. Whoa. Woo! Thank you, Trigger. Thank you for popping in too. Whenever I follow Jack through there, I get onto the grotty stuff. Try cutting the corners too much there. Yeah, I can't cut the curb that much through there. Woo! Let's just take a break. Just take a chill moment, just to calm down. Oh. Yeah, 146.7 Jack Kobe's got. I'm struggling to get faster than the 147.779. Oh. The big question is now, can I keep the A? That's the big question. Just calm down for a moment. Just take it easy. I can stay out of trouble again. And just find my way through the chicane of death, even if I've got to, you know, just hold fourth gear or something and just take it easy through there. It's just I need some space. I got space in the last race, and I got very lucky. There was a few bangs and crashes that went on, and yeah, just interesting. So, oh, Burnley College is only 7 miles from Trigger. Oh, well, they've got an event going on at the college on the 13th, Friday. Is it Wednesday today, isn't it? Yeah, Friday. Zach's getting involved with that. Trying to raise some money. I think it's part of a college project or something that they're doing. Just trying to raise a few pounds for cancer research. And but for me, I need to avoid the chat like the plague now. Concentrate like crazy, and see how we go. We're starting 8th in this one. Everybody's an A. Let's just see what we can do. Let's just see what we can do. Yeah, it's a building already. I can feel them. Feel the nerves building. So 8th in this one we're starting. We need to try and hold that if we can. Trouble is right in the middle of the pack. You are susceptible to getting punted into the corners or used as a brake. If you're being bump draft, remember to brake a little bit earlier into the corner that you're approaching. So hopefully I can just stay out of trouble. That's all I want to do. I just want to stay out of trouble. A lot of attenders in this one. Thanks, Drac. Good luck to you too, my friend, if you're racing in these. Let us know how you get on. Here we go. One more to go. Oh, too deep. Could lose a couple of places here. Just being a bit overcautious in this last lap. Whoa! That was a hard race. Oh, that was hard. Oh my gosh, that was a hard race. That was. Oh my word. That was tough. I mean, all of those A's, that was tough. Really tough race. Noodle won it. Crash Barrier second. But what a race with Tukami and Robinson and Uninsured. I mean, whoa. I mean, crikey, going sideways through the chicane of death is just insane. Insane. And we didn't die. We didn't die. I can't believe that. I am shaking like a leaf. The adrenaline. I'm not doing another one. That is it. I'm doing 2, and then I'll probably come back to 2. I nearly cancelled the stream then. Oh dear. I'll come back to it again. 2569. I didn't make very much on that one. I made a few places. I thought I would have improved my DR a bit more than that. That's a bit of a shame. Only a couple of hundred. I think 200 or 300 on that one. And mind you, we didn't go up that high. But there we go, my friends. There we go. That's interesting. Why have we got? Oh, because I need to go on here, you donut. You complete plank. There we go. We are an A. We've got a full-blown S, which is all good and hunky-dory. And we have now finally got that A. Oh my gosh, that was hard work. Right, I am going to take a very short break, and then I will be back. I just need to go for a quick walk, pay a visit to the loo, get a drink, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we are back. We're back. Woo! Sorry, I just needed a few minutes away because that was just an insane hour. Well, 45 minutes, I guess. Let me just turn off these headphones. And yeah, I just needed to just stretch my legs for a few minutes. And oh my word, I am cream crackered. Really cream crackered. That was two really hard races. The first one we started down in 10th, I think, and got on the podium, and that got me up into the A. And then the second one, I think I started 8th and finished about 5th or something, so made 2 or 3 places. We only increased by 200 or 300 DR, but you know what, an increase is an increase, and that's good. That's all good if you can do that. Just want to say good evening to Zach, who is in the chat, Greg White as well, both watching me while I was racing. Trigger, well done, congrats. And Greg White saying, get yourself a wagon wheel. I fancy a wagon wheel now. I haven't got any. And Grenster, good evening. Drat Fury, I don't know how he did in his race. Hopefully he did okay. And Grenster saying, good race. It was a cracking race. I really enjoyed it. And number one Pops is in as well in the chat. So I have got the room is now open, and not quite sure how many people we will have in the lobby this evening. I may well go public depending on how many people we get in, purely because Hulky's running the GT Championship, so there'll be a few people over there. So I'm just going to wait and see who we get in, and then I'll make some decisions. So I may well end up closing and reopening the room in a little while. But for the moment, just wanted to just relax for a little bit. We had a banging evening yesterday. Dedicated the stream to number one Pops' dad that sadly passed away last Thursday. And it was great to see so many people running black liveried cars and with little messages on them as well. Number one Pops had on his, he had rest in peace dad with 3 kisses on it, which was really lovely. Did choke me up a little bit when I saw that, but just it's not a lot, but it's just a bit of support for a friend going through a tough time. And then tonight we are going to be, I'll move across and put you on spectate, although there's nobody in the room at the moment. Zach, he's at Burnley College. They've got an esports Olympics that they are going to be doing on Friday, I think it is. They've obviously got a fund page up, donation page for cancer research that the whole thing is in aid of. There's 3 games that they are running, one of which is obviously Gran Turismo. Can't think of the other 2. They don't interest me that much. They're going to be streaming that on Twitch and is it X or no, Twitch and TikTok. Neither of which I have, so I won't be able to watch, unfortunately not on YouTube. But I wish him and his fellow students and the teachers and organisers and everybody at Burnley College the very best of luck, and hopefully they will be able to make a few quid for cancer research and have some fun in the meantime. I think it's all part of a a class or an assignment that I think they've had to do, and I just said that I would pop a little promotion on the stream, so it's there, and there is a link in the description of the video for anybody who wants to find out a little bit more about what's going on. And I think I saw that Trigger's only 7 miles down the road, so maybe Trigger might pop along and tap Zach on the shoulder. I don't know whether they are actually racing in the college, whether they've taken PlayStations in, or whether they are racing from home, or quite how it's working, or whether it's a knockout or whatever. I don't know quite how it's working. So and of course probably can't get in. It's probably, I don't know whether it's a closed event or an open event. I don't know if they have thought about having it as an open event and having a small entry fee as a donation towards cancer research. That'd be a nice way of getting a few extra funds. I don't know too much about it, but I did just think I would use the platform just to promote. So yeah, Burnley College Esports Olympics on the 13th of March 2026 in aid of cancer research. See description for details. Right, so we're just on board with Grenster at the moment. Matt Mike is in the room too. He's in the rapid fit. Takes me back, that livery really does. Spent a lot of happy years working in a Ford dealership back in the day. It was a retail dealership, and actually helped to set up a rapid fit operation in the dealership and managed all the computer for it and the stock control and everything else back in the day. And I was workshop manager at the time, so it was really interesting because there was a big battle between the workshop and the rapid fit, because rapid fit was all cheap, and obviously the workshop was all premium and highly skilled trained mechanics that were expensive, and the rapid fit operation did take quite a bit of money away from me. It did make motoring, not motor racing, but motoring a little bit cheaper for people back in the day. So I guess it was the customers that won out in the day, at the end of the day. So we just got Grenster and Mad Mikey. I'm hoping not to be racing until 11 o'clock now. I want to have a break, let my body recover, and then hopefully we'll be able to get going again. Deadpool, thank you for popping in, and thank you for the well done on getting my A ranking. Thank you so much. I'm not going to lie, although I only needed 26 points, it was still a nice surprise. When it loaded up and I could see that I was way back down in 10th, I thought, oh, this is going to be bad. I'm going to start going backwards again. Now I've just got to hold my own and try and just stay, you know, top 8 now, and just try and inch it back up a little bit. So 2,500 point into the A, but that can be undone very, very, very quickly. Chicken Yoga, good evening. Good evening and welcome to the chat. Did get you set up as a role in the Discord today, so you should now see your name in green, and you should be able to log into the registered racers Discord channels. They're private, only available to Discord, to registered PSR racers, and in there you can see which of the cars and tracks we're going to be running each evening. So that way, if you need to buy any cars or acquire any cars, then hopefully you've got time to do that. But just 2 in at the moment, so I'm thinking that I'm potentially going to open this one up as public. So I could well be closing this one down in just a moment. Like I said, there's quite a few people that are running in league races today. Unfortunately, I entered into the league race with Rita. We both then got very ill, and we both had to pull out. It was a long discussion, a bit of a difficult decision, but we both decided to pull out rather than cause any grief. So that's the reason why I am doing the lobbies this evening, and I think I'm going to go public. Where has it gone? That's what I want. Just let people know why. So what we'll do is we'll just come out of there for the moment. Hopefully those guys will jump back in, and we'll open up a public lobby. So we'll load the settings, and we'll set this one to public, and I'm also going to set this to I'm going to do the qualifier. I am going to do the qualifier. I know it puts off a few people when they see qualifying. I might need to lose the qualifier, but we'll just see how we go in this one. So the qualifier is going to be at 10 past as usual, and then we'll see how we go. Oh, so we did get our A rank rating, which was really good. So pleased to get that one. Let's just let everybody know. It's so annoying that you have to shut the lobby down to open it up as a public lobby. It is so annoying. I wish you could just do it. You know, if you open it up as a friends, and then if you've only got, let's say, 2 or 3 friends, be able to go up there and just say, okay, can you set this as a public one, and then let public people in, and likewise, if you've got public, and then you've maybe got, you know, the league racing might finish, and then everybody piles in, it'd be nice then to go friends only, or people in the chat are saying, okay, Mitch, we've finished, we want to come and race with you now, but the lobby's full. I can then switch it back to friends, and then obviously, you know, those that aren't friends will leave, and we will be able to get the others in. It would be so much easier if we could do it that way. Gren says, without category, people will pick random cars. They will. True. That is true. So we'll see. I mean, if people so this is the let me just bring up, I will just let people know what we are doing. Bear with me a second whilst I work out what we are doing. And yeah, I may well have to turn it into a GR race because they will be tuned and stuff like that. So this is the Ford Focus. RS model. And we'll see how we go. Chicken Yoga saying congratulations on the A. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Thank you. So I'm planning on spectating and commentating this evening. Obviously, the difficult thing with commentating and spectating when you've got a public room is all of the different names, because obviously when I'm running with my own guys, I know the names, and I also know roughly where people are likely to be on track. When you go public, it does put a whole different layer of difficulty in. So because obviously you don't know the names, you don't know the skill levels, you don't know how people are going to race, etc, etc. The other thing as well is obviously the PSR rules in some respects now go out the window because the public people won't know. But obviously those of you that are PSR racers, I'd like you to race within the PSR rules and show or lead by example. So show how we like to race and just be as respectful as you possibly can. And we'll see how we go. You can see already we've got was it Frank the Tank in a Subaru. I mean, in some respects, so long as people are sensible with the cars that they've picked, I don't mind too much, if I'm honest. I got just have a look at the vent settings. Yeah, BOP is on anyway, so you know we'll see how things go. Let me just turn some replay information on. So at the moment, as I said, we'll go racing at the qualifier. It's going to be at 10 past, and just letting people know again. And some people often say to me, "Why do you do XX10?" The reason why I do XX10 is obviously it's 10 past the hour, because although it is 9 o'clock here in the UK, In Central Europe, it is 10 o'clock. In America, it is like, what, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All different times. So I do XX to signify the hour, and then just the minutes to show that we are going to be starting the race at 10 past or whatever past the hour. Where's the Scooby? We've lost our Subaru at the moment, so only very few people in this one. It's going to be a quiet one, I think, tonight. Again, the qualifier may well be putting people off, so I might have to ditch the qualifier for the next one, but I'll leave the qualifier in for this first race, and we're going to be going racing in just over 6 minutes time. At the moment, it's Chicken Yoga, Paul Emmers, Mad Mikey, Grenster, and Siwi. Siwi is a non-PSR ranked racer. Sorry, a non-PSR registered racer, not ranked, a registered racer. So obviously I don't know how they're going to race, but it's going to be a quiet one to start off with, I think. Very quiet one to begin. I'm just watching Chicken Yoga at the moment. Chicken Yoga seems to like his maroon, the maroon coloured cars, and he's going fastest with a 1:21.098. We've got a 1:21.4 for Paul and Mad Mikey. Oh, Mad Mikey with a 1:18.555. Why is Mad Mikey in third and not top? Mad Mikey way out front at the moment. Grenster's just done a 1:18.9, and for some reason it's still showing Chicken Yoga and Paul Emmers as 1 and 2. Whoa, Chicken Yoga with a massive slide into that corner, taking out the 150 board, and the 150 is rearranging all of the brake markers there. I think he's trying to get an advantage. Hopefully the game will reset those markers. We shall see. Somebody did say to me once upon a time, you take the markers out, they're removed for yourself, but they stay for everybody else. I don't think there's any truth in that. It's very interesting to know whether they've been removed now for Chicken Yoga, but obviously they're there for Mad Mikey. I don't know. We will have to see. Right, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then we are going to be going. 5 minutes. By the time I've typed this, it's probably going to be 4, but 5 minutes. Oh, it is going to be 4 minutes. So by the time I got that out there, it was a little bit late. But Mad Mikey at the top of the timing charts now, 1:18.555. That's lovely, isn't it? 555, wasn't that Colin McRae's? Did they have 555 on the Subaru, I think? Chicken Yoga, Paul Emmers, Frank the Tank. So Frank's now in the Focus RS. Siwi's in, Grenster and Dafauti. So 7 runners in this one at the moment, and we'll see how we go. We're going to be in the Alfa Romeo Giulia for the next one, the 2020 car. Beautiful car. We're going to be running that round Alsace village, and then after that we're in the GR4s at Sardegna C in reverse, and then we'll be doing Watkins Glen long course in the GR3s. I didn't actually say how many laps for Watkins Glen. That would be 6. Sardegna C reverse, I might, depending on time, take that up and make that a 10 lap race, just to make it just a little bit longer for people. And then at around about 11 o'clock I'll be jumping back into the daily races. I'm going to need to try and get my lap time down just a little bit, and then see if we can continue to keep that A ranking for more than 2 or 3 days. Normally I lose it after a couple of days, but let's just see what we can do with that one. So 3 minutes and we will be going racing. Quite a long pause on the first one, purely because a lot of people know that I usually start my races at 10 past. Obviously started the stream a little bit early because of the way that the daily races have fallen. Sometimes I'll do an additional daily race and it will take me just over the 9 o'clock and people are waiting. But for the moment, I'm just doing 2 daily races before the stream, the lobby racing, 2 daily races afterwards, just so that I can make sure that I don't stress my back too much and that I can race. And it's great to be back racing. Really, really enjoying it right now. And for the moment, we won't be racing. We're going to be enjoying watching some cracking racing from these guys. Only 7 in the lobby at the moment. We've got just over a minute to go. So I'll just go 1 minute. And we'll click the button now. Well, Mad Mikey with a big old slide through that corner. God, he's getting some smoke out the back of the Focus there. That's pretty good going for a... is it a front? Oh no, I think it's a 4-wheel drive, isn't it, the RS? I think it's a 4-wheel drive. Rather, of course, the Focus normally a front-wheel drive, but I think it's a 4-wheel drive, so that would explain why those rear tyres were getting lit up on the back there. At the moment, we'll just take a look at the runners. We've got Grenster, Mad Mikey, Chicken Yoga, Paul Emmers, Frank the Tank, Defalti, Siri, and myself. Obviously, I'm not racing, I'm just going to commentate. So 7 runners, they're all in the appropriate car, which is really nice and respectful. And, oh, number 1 Pops is just on his way. Quick, quick, quick. Quick, 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 number 1. Rush, rush, rush. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Quick, quick, quick. Paul Emmers is in as well, saying well done on the A rank. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. A bit behind with the chat. Very, very quiet this evening. Very quiet this evening. How far away are you, Pops? How many minutes away are you? Hopefully you'll be in very, very quickly. I'll hold it just for a minute. 10 seconds. There you go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he pops in on 1. Look at that. It was 10 seconds. Seriously, it was 10 seconds. I'm going to give him another 10 to grab his car. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There he is. There he is. There he is. Okay, right. We're going to get going. We're going. Let's start the quali. So, Grenster, Mad Mikey, Chicken Yoga, Paul Emmers, number 1 Pops, Frank the Tank, Defalti, Siri, and I'm going to be spectating. As always, guys, PSR rules go out the window a little bit because we've got non-PSR registered races in this one. But please lead by example, so please race by the rules, be respectful. If you do have somebody off and you wreck their race, please give the place back and just let these guys know how we race. But just bear in mind, you might get somebody who will chuck it up the inside and maybe just give you a bump or a little bit of a nudge through a corner. Obviously, we don't know how these guys are going to race. They could be great, they could be horrendous, we just don't know. We will find out in a very, very few minutes. Talking about that, let's put some information on the screen for you. So we've got just running on board with Frank the Tank at the moment. So obviously Defalti, Siri, Frank the Tank are the guys that are non-registered racers at the moment. All 3 of those are in blue cars and they're all running on track together here at the moment. So fingers crossed, maybe 1 or 2 of these guys have heard of PlayStation Racer PSR and they know how we roll. Then again, maybe they don't. We're not that famous yet, Mitchell. We're not that famous yet. We're working on it, but we're not that famous. So we've got Mad Mikey. He's out on track at the moment in a beautiful Rapid Fit livery car. Then Defalti in blue, Siri's in the blue, Frank the Tank is in blue. I'm just going to refer to him as Frank for this one. Chicken Yoga in the maroon coloured car was in maroon yesterday, so we're seeing a bit of a theme going on here. I'm going to sneeze. Grenster in 6th. Grenster in a blue one as well. Paul Emma's in blue, and then number 1 Pops in the Demon Tweaks car. So we've got 2 basically with liveries, and that is Mad Mikey and number 1. Number 1 had an absolutely barnstorming race at Colorado Springs last night. Was the class of the field. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to watch, and we'll see how he goes today. And I've thrown in a GR3 race around Watkins Glen. I'm hoping number 1 will stick around for that one. He's very good in the road cars, he's great in the GR4s, and he hates the GR3s. It was his night last night. We dedicated the stream to his late father, who sadly passed away last week, and so I didn't run any GR3s last night out of respect of Pops. No such respect tonight. The GR3s are back. Let's see if he can step up. Right, Matt Mikey has set the pace. A 1:18.783. Siri back with a 1:24, but Chicken Yoga in there with a 1:21.0. Defauti with a 1:28.4, and it's all changing around at the moment as they're coming across the line here. Number 1 Pops will be the last one to come across, but it is Mad Mikey, Grenster, Paul Emmys, Chicken Yoga, 1, 2, 3, 4 for PSR. Then we've got Siri is the leader of the public guys. Defauti in 7th and Frank the Tank in 8th, and number 1 Pop says Mitchell, rethink that one because I'm going to jump in 3rd place for you. A 1:19.8. So Mad Mike is the only one in the 1:18s at the moment, and Grenster just outside of the 1:18s, and number 1 Pop's just inside, and we've got Frank the Tank on a 1:33, Defauci on a 1:28, and Siri with a 1:24. So at the moment I'm sort of predicting that we're going to get a split race here, where we may well get the PSR guys out front and the public guys a little bit behind, but who knows, anything could happen, and it will be lovely to see those guys getting up into the mix. Grenster going top with a 1:18.4, just a couple of tenths of a second ahead of Mad Mikey. So is there anything that Mad Mikey can do about that to get that one back? And Grenster just trying to go around the outside of Defronti. He's not going to be able to do that. Defronti giving Defauti giving Grenster room on the inside. So this is respectful racing. This guy's never raced with us before, and look, he's already racing respectfully. He's leaving room on the outside. I'm loving that. Grenster all 3 wide into that one. Siwi trying to get around the outside. This is respectful from the Siwi and Fauti. Deep respect to these 2 guys. I don't know if they're watching the stream, but deep respect to you guys going around those corners together like that. There's certainly no shenanigans going on, and Grenster finding that he's in a battle with 2 unknowns and feeling that he can go wheel to wheel, wing to wing, bumper to bumper, and Siwi and Defauti still going at it. A little bit of a fender bender on the way through there as they just touch, and Defauti's chasing down Siwi at the moment as they come across the line. These are going to be the positions, but those 2 guys both together on the line, wow, it's going to be a great race. I don't know if those 2 guys know each other, but going to be great between those 2, and see how we go. Really, really, really good. Grenster's just saying testing the water there. Well, from what I saw, my friend, water's tested, and the water is hot, 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 but hot, hot, hot in the right way. Oh, we could have a race on here. Grenster a 1:18 out in front. Mad Mikey with a 1:18.6 in second. Number 1 Pops with a 1:19.0 in third. Paul Emmers with a 1:20.3 in fourth. Chicken Yoga with a 1:21.0 in fifth. Frank the Tank right with him with a 1:21.7. Defalti and Siwi both very, very close behind. So we are going to start this race. Is going to be starting at, let's just do this one. I'm going to start this one 19. So the guys will know that they've just got a second or two just to get themselves sorted and settled. And then we will be off and racing. The dark clouds are gathering, but I don't think it will rain here. I don't think it rains at this particular track. And will be very interesting. So we've got Grenster and Mad Mikey on row 1. Number 1 Pops and Paul Emmers on row 2. Chicken Yoga and Frank the Tank on 3. And then Fauti and Siri on row 4. Those are your runners. We are going to be going racing in just a moment. As I say that, it does tick over. We are 6 seconds away from racing at Blue Moon Bay, Infield A in reverse. I do like this particular layout for this particular track. And, well, we'll put all of the information on and then we'll see how we go. So it's going to be Grenster and Mad Mikey that are going to lead us away. It's overcast here at Blue Moon Bay. We're waiting for the lights. Long pause at the moment. We're 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we wait and we are away. Oh, Mad Mikey with a blinding start off the line. Grenster being caught napping, drops down into 4th place. He's getting mugged off the start. Mad Mikey, number 1 Pops and Paul with good starts. Grenster 4th, and then Fauti 5th, Chicken Yoga back in 6th, and Siri 7th, Frank the Tank at the moment bringing up the rear in 8th. And we'll see how we go. Oh, Paul Emmers getting it big sideways, cuts right the way across the front of Chicken Yoga there. How on earth those two are still running together? I thought the Chicken Yoga was going to lose the front of his car there. And they do still keep running, but obviously Paul losing a bit of traction and falling back there. Grenster finding himself in 5th at the moment. Grenster not running in his normal P1R livery, and P1R are one of the very, very, very quick communities around here, so we'll watch to see how Grenster does. He should come through the pack, I think, from there, but at the moment it is Mad Mikey and number 1 Pops that are locked in battle. Just 0.3 between these two. It's a short 6-lap race, this one, almost just like a little bit of a warm-up. Mad Mikey getting a bit of a slide. Number 1 Pops not sliding, so number 1 Pops could get a little bit of a run on Mad Mikey here. Obviously the sliding is the slower way through, but Mad Mikey does keep it out front. Number 1 Pops is closing up. He's got the gap down to 0.2, so he's made a 10th as we go into the right-hander. Need to pick your braking point very, very carefully because you're coming into a right angle corner here. Number 1 Pops, oh, with a big old slide. He's gone around, he's binned it, he's facing the wrong way. Oh no, and now he's got everybody going by. Number 1 Pops, man alive. Oh dear, your dad will be up there laughing his socks off at you, my friend. Absolute hero on the dirt at Colorado Springs, and hero to 0 around Blue Moon Bay Infield. I mean that in the nicest possible way. But Mad Mikey out front now by 2 seconds. Grenster suddenly finds himself in 2nd, but 3.8 ahead of Siwi, who is just ahead of Fauti. Fauti with a half-second penalty. Ho! Siwi showing the side of his car to Fauti there, and Chicken Yoga's in the mix too. Just off the back of them is Paul Emmers. So this is where the battle is. Siwi just getting into the wall there. That's going to allow Fauti through again. But remember, Fauti's got that half-second penalty. It's all a bit of a change around here. Some of the guys getting a little bit sideways. It does slow you down massively, and they will lose time. It might look good, but it's slow. Siwi flashing his lights at Chicken Yoga, saying, come on, get a move on. Paul Emmers right on his back bumper too. These three very tight together. Paul Emmers goes for the move up the inside. Siwi going around the outside, taking the more regular lines, cutting down the inside now, almost 3 wide through there. Paul Emmers and Siwi both losing the back end there. Siwi's going to get a good line through there. He does get up the inside of Paul Emmers. Great driving from those two through that corner. But Chicken Yoga out front at the moment in 3rd of this little group. Out front is Mad Mikey and Grenster. Mad Mikey is 1.6 ahead of Grenster. So Grenster is closing up ever so slightly. But this little group, it is Chicken Yoga out front ahead of Siri, with Fauci and Paul Emmers right behind. Fauci and Paul Emmers just dropping back ever so slightly. And number one Pops recovering in 7th at the moment. He's right on the back of this one. Oh, we got Paul Emmers, I think, going really, really deep into that corner. That's let number one Pops through. Oh, Siri, stay out the wall, my friend. Hitting the wall is going to slow you down. You can catch Chicken Yoga if you can just stay out of the wall and keep it going in a straight line. That RS looking a little bit bent on the left-hand side. Number one Pops will be seeing that. He will be seeing the Siri just getting into the wall a little bit and thinking I can close up and I might even be able to get 4th place here. But number one Pops has got Paul Emmers chasing him as well. 1.4 to Siri and 1.8 back to Emmers as far as number one Pops is concerned. Grenster is closed up nicely on Mad Mikey. So Mad Mikey's really got his he's got his work cut out now, because Grenster is just 0.9 behind. We'll just enjoy these front two at the moment. They are way ahead of the best of the rest. 9.4 seconds ahead of Chicken Yoga, who is in 3rd. Siri 4th. Number one Pops 5th and Paul Emmers 6th at the moment. Front and Tank in 7th and Fauci back in 8th at the moment. 8 runners on track. Mad Mikey just gapping Grenster for the moment. Mad Mikey going really, really well in this first race. Both of them just back end is just drifting ever so slightly, but they're managing to stop the slide, which means that Mad Mikey maintains that 1 second advantage over Grenster. Grenster not really able to close up very much, even with slipstream. So I think that these two guys are not going to want to let these cars slide, because if they do, they're going to let the other car get away. They're going to come down into the tight corner. Mad Mikey and Grenster, as I said, both of them, they four-wheel drift from Grenster there, which is the fastest way through there. I think Mad Mikey with a four-wheel drift too, but they're not sliding, which is making it very difficult for Grenster to close up. He's got 0.8 of a second now. No, it's back out to 0.9 and then 1 second. So it's ebbing and flowing between these two at the moment. A little bit further back, we've got Chicken Yoga, who's 11 seconds back, and number one Pops absolutely chasing him down at the moment. 1.2 seconds between these two. Chicken Yoga just getting a little bit squirrely on the exit there. Number one Pops will have seen that, and he's got the opportunity to close up by a few tenths of a second as we go into the latter part of the infield. Just up front, Grenster now 1.6 from Mad Mikey. So whether Mad Mikey's had a good lap or Grenster's had a little bit of a moment, we're not quite sure. But that has given Mad Mikey a little bit of an opportunity to pull away as we go on to the final lap. It is 1.3. Grenster closing as we go down the long straight. We'll just watch them through this first corner. Hard on the brakes from Mad Mikey, hard on the brakes from Grenster. Getting it slowed down, turned in, pick up the inside of the corner. No dramas for either of those two cars, and it remains 1 second between them. Number one Pops 11 seconds back, but he has managed to do a move on Chicken Yoga. Chicken Yoga, getting it really, really, really loose on the way into that corner. I think that's given number one Pops the podium. He slipped back to 3 seconds now, just as Chicken Yoga was gathering that one up just as we went on board. He's 4 seconds ahead of Siri, who's going really well. He's the leader of the public races. Hazard lights on at the moment. Hopefully he's not auto driving the way that car's moving around. Definitely not. I think he's just got the hazard lights on for some reason. Frank the Tank going well in 6th. Paul Emmers in 7th, with Fauci in 8th at the moment. And looks like he's parked up actually, Fauci. I'm not quite sure what is going on there. But he's going to be Mad Mikey that's going to come across the line to take the win by some 1.4 seconds in the end. Grenster in 2nd. Outlaw number one Pops is some 11 seconds behind, nearly 12 seconds behind the leaders, but he is going to come across with a fine 3rd after that great recovery, after being the wrong way round on the track at one point, facing the wrong direction, had to let everybody through. Chicken Yoga claims 4th. Siri the leader of the non-PSR rank races in 5th, with Frank the Tank just 1.8 behind. Paul Emmers running in 7th. He's going to come across the line. And Fouty parked up at the moment. Not quite sure what happened there. But he is parked up and going absolutely nowhere. But Mad Mikey with a flawless run there. Grenster pushing for all his worth, but 1.4 to take the first win of the night in that Rapid Fit sponsored car. Looking really, really good. Unfortunately, Fouty parked up at the moment is causing a yellow flag. Thankfully, it didn't result in any issues in the race, I believe. And number one Pops, how on earth he got back to 3rd? That is an outstanding run from number one Pops. No way he was going to catch the 2 leaders, but to be facing the wrong way, tucked up against the barrier, having to watch everybody go by, and then fighting his way back to 3rd, that is quite the run. And driver of the day, well, it would be number one Pops if he hadn't have spun it, but I think my driver of the day for that one had to be Mad Mikey. He was soaking up a lot of pressure from Grenster behind, and from what I was watching, didn't make a mistake. Absolutely on it on every single corner, and well, just did the Rapid Fit sponsors proud on that particular race. I will save the replay. I'll share it as normal. Obviously, I can't take any stewards and crieries on these ones tonight, purely because of we're open to public, and I will probably lose the quali for the next one. But congratulations to the top 3. Great racing by all of you, and well, maybe great racing with the exception of number one Pops that was backwards. We'll ignore the backwards moment. It was entertaining. That's why he did it. Entertainment. 10 out of 10 for entertainment, number one. Mad Mikey, your winner with a 1:18.360. Grenster, the only one in the 117s, a 1:17.827, and the fastest lap. Shows how hard he was pushing. But 1.4 seconds back. Number one Pops recovering after the spin for a fine, magnificent 3rd place with a 1:18.024, and then Chicken Yoga in 4th. Siri, the first of the public races, in 5th. Frank the Tank in 6th. Paul Emmers 7th, and Fouty was a lap back, parked up at the end. But Mad Mikey, Grenster, and number one Pops, your 1, 2, and your 3. I'm going to ditch the qualifier for this one. We're at Alsace, a track that I don't know overly well, I have to say, but it should be a good one around here. The car for this one is the Alfa Giulia. So let me just get this one out here very, very quickly. Can't spell it. It's G-I, isn't it? G-I... U-L-I-A GTAm, and we will start the race. This one, the race is going to be starting at I'm going to start this one at 35, so fairly quickly getting into this one now. And we still got another half an hour before, at least half an hour before the GT Championships end. So we'll just see what happens in this one. We've lost Frank the Tank. The number one Pop says, sorry, Mitch, I've changed livery. Oh, he's not changed livery. Oh, he's in a horrible pink one, that's why. Oh, let's go have a nose. Let's have a nose. So we've got Grenster is in a nice one, actually. That's a proper Italian looking one there with the red, the green and the black. I think it's Italian looking. Mad Mikey in the Old Spice car. Nice livery on that one. Chicken Yoga in the classic purple. I'm seeing a theme here. it always seems to be in a car of those colours. Going to make it very easy for me commentating. And then we've got just the worst. I mean, goodness sake. I mean, look, even SpongeBob's racing it. He can't even drive it in a straight line, look. And if we actually get a front view, you'll probably find that number one Pops has got, I think he's got a SpongeBob helmet as well. He's got SpongeBob pink L plates on it, Outlaw Racing Club on it. He's, oh yes. Oh my word. Yeah, he deserves to come last. Deserves to come last. Oh, he hasn't got the, SpongeBob helmet. I wonder if it's somebody else that was running that one. I can't remember. But we did an event the other week when I was commentating, and all of the guys jumped into pink cars just to wind me up. Defaulty's in a red one, as I said, Grenster in the black with the red, white and green trimmings. Have Mikey in the red Old Spice, Chicken Yoga in the maroon, Outlaw in the pink, and Defaulty in the red. So yeah, not very many races tonight. Really quiet. A really quiet one. I was hoping that by taking off the quali, we might have got a few more people in. That said, they might jump in when we get the GR races going. It is coming up for the race in just a moment. 21:35 we're going to go racing. It looks like it's just going to be Grenster, Mad Mikey, Chicken Yoga, number one Pops and Fouty in this one. As I say that, we've just got somebody else joining. Oh, Frank the Tank is back, possibly just gone off to buy the car maybe. What car is he in? He's in the Alfa Giulia, if I get it pronounced correctly. So Frank the Tank is back, and right, we will get this one underway right now. Let's go. So the game is going to decide the order. I'm suspecting it's going to be Grenster, Mad Mikey on the front, Chicken Yoga, number one Pops on row 2, and then Frank the Tank and Fouty on row 3. Quiet one tonight. Way it goes sometimes. After taking a unexpected week off, I'm having to start to rebuild the channel again. It's very quiet on the viewers as well. Only 12 people watching, whereas we normally have 20, 30, sometimes 40 people watching. So I am very much in rebuild recovery mode, and I don't know quite what Mad Mikey was doing there, but he was off on the grass, in the wall, off the line. So I don't know whether he's had an equipment issue there, but he finds himself on the back of Fouty at the moment. It's head up the hill, but it's Grenster that has made the early gains. He's 0.4 ahead of number one Pops. Number one Pops hard on the brakes. Oh, having to really get that back end out there to slow the car down there as he was going side by side with Grenster. There's just 0.1 between these two guys. Number one Pops four-wheel sliding that Giulia through these corners, absolutely beautiful. Loving the car control there, and he's going to be side by side with Grenster through this one as well. Can't quite find a way through at the moment. Grenster's got the advantage just for the moment. And then we've got Chicken Yoga back in third, Fouty fourth, Frank the Tank fifth, and Mad Mikey sixth. But watching this one out front at the moment, I want to see if number one Pops can find a way through. He's going to the right, he's going to the left. He's going to come underneath for this one. Grenster taking a more defensive line. Number one Pops taking the wider line. Hopefully he'll be able to get on the power early and try and get up the inside of Grenster. Grenster's still got the inside for that corner. Number one Pops just not able to find a way through at the moment. The sun is blazing, the track is up to temperature, the tyres are up to temperature, and number one Pops, just trying to get up the inside there, but they did get into each other. Number one Pops backs out of that one very respectfully. It's a little bit optimistic, shall we say, trying to find a way through there, but number one doing the right thing, backing out, and now he's going to resume the challenge on Grenster. Hard racing, Sometimes you've got to go for those little moves. Sometimes they'll come off and sometimes they won't. Or Grenster with a big slide through there. I thought number 1 Pops was going to get an opportunity, but his Alfa slid a little bit there as well. But he's closing up. He's 0.5, 0.4, or now 0.7. Grenster managing to get a good exit there. But number 1 Pops still with the slipstream as they go up the hill, which it's dropping. 0.69, 0.67. 0.67 at the moment, so Grenster just managing the gap at the moment. Or number 1 Pops looks like he went a little bit deep into there, but no, a beautiful line to get right on the back of Grenster, and he's got that down to 0.1. A lovely line from number 1. I thought it had gone wide, but he got a beautiful 4-wheeled drift through there to get the car rotated, and then on the power, super quick, and he's right back in this one again. Grenster not having this his own way. This is a gargantuan battle between these two. Behind we've got Chicken Yoga's 4.7 back. Pouty is 2.5 back from him, and then we've got to go 12 seconds back to Frank the Tank, and then 7 back to Mikey, who's having a mare of a race in this one after a really great one in the last one. But it is Grenster and number 1 that are out front at the moment. Grenster just 0.4 ahead, and as I say that, number 1 Pops brings it right the way back down to 0.1, 0.2 of a second. So there are places in this one where Grenster's quicker. There are places where number 1 is quicker. The advantage that number 1 has is because he's chasing, he can see and learn the lines that Grenster's taking, and he can see where there might be a potential overtake later in the race. For the moment, Grenster is just defending for all his life's work. Life's worth even, and whether he's able to check his mirror and see the lines that number 1's taking and therefore defend, I don't know. But number 1 Pops potentially, I think, with the upper hand here. Oh, as I say, that is hard into the barrier. Commentator's curse strikes again. As soon as I said that I thought number 1 Pops had the upper hand, hits the barrier, and then it all goes into Grenster's favour. Grenster now 1.2 ahead. Number 1 Pops is going to have to dig deep to close that gap down. Potentially just on the verge of slipstream. Is he going to get a slipstream? I don't think he is at the moment. It's hovering around the 1.2 at the moment. Number 1 Pops is going to have to find something really special here. All Grenster needs to do is to put qualifying laps in now. We're on lap 3 of 6, so we've got plenty of running to go, and we're only halfway around this one, so we've got 3.5 laps to run. Grenster could quite easily pop it in the wall. Number 1 Pops knows where he's quicker, and there are places where he can close up really nicely, and as I say that, he does actually close that gap to 0.7 of a second. So number 1 Pops is doing what he needs to do at the moment, unless of course Grenster is simply managing this one. Grenster with a big slide through there. Number 1 Pops, no such slide. He covers that really nicely through that corner and closes it down to 0.4. So Grenster, unfortunately, the 4-wheel slide looked good, but it was held for a little bit too long, and number 1 Pops has managed to close up really nicely. Both of them into the wall now. Number 1 Pops potentially watching Grenster rather than watching the track, and I think he may have followed him into the wall there. Could be doing him an injustice, but normally if you get 2 cars going into the wall in that way, it's normally the one behind following in the wheel tracks of the one in front. Always number 1 rule is drive the track, not the car in front. I could be doing him an injustice, of course. He'll shout at me afterwards if he doesn't. Wow, that pink car squirming around under the braking now as he tries to get the car slowed down for the corner. He's got a lovely run through the last corner as we come down across the line to start lap number 4. It is Grenster that is 0.5 of a second ahead of number 1. They are 10 seconds ahead of Chicken Yoga, who is 14 seconds ahead of Fouty, who is 4.5 seconds, or 4 seconds ahead of Frank the Tank, who is 1.5 ahead of Mad Mikey. So Mad Mikey chasing down Frank the Tank. I think they're going to have a bit of a battle. Mad Mikey finding the Alfa very tail happy at the moment, and we'll see how that one goes. But the race is really between number 1 Pops and Grenster here. Number 1 Pops has got Grenster down to 0.5, 0.6. It goes out. It's ebbing and flowing basically 0.4, 0.5 to 0.7. So number one Pops will be learning. He'll know where Grenster's quick. He'll know where Grenster is slow. He'll know where Grenster is vulnerable. And then also, he'll also know that when and if and when he can get past, he'll know where Grenster is quick and may well be a threat. So number one Pops has had a good number of laps to really size this one up. And then he's got basically 2.5 laps. When is he going to make his move? Is he going to make his move? Or has Grenster been managing this? And is Grenster going to show number one Pops a clean pair of heels and make his getaway? Both of them four-wheel sliding through that corner. A little bit of a power slide on the exit as the rear wheels are struggling for grip. Grenster again with a little bit of a power slide on the way out, just touching the curb and the grass on the way through. Number one Pops was ever so slightly tidier than that, and he gets the gap down to 0.4. It comes down to 0.3, and it's going to be 0.3 as we come down through this lovely little last section. Stay out the wall, guys. Oh, number one Pops. That was fag paper close through there. How on earth he kept that one out of the wall, I really do not know. But he's managed to close now to 0.2. Oh, he gets a bit of a slide through that one. And he drops now to 0.5. So the slide just costing him 2 or 3 tenths of a second. This one ebbing and flowing all the way through. We're on lap number 5 now. So if number one Pops is going to make a move, he's going to need to make that soon. If Grenster has been sandbagging, he's going to need to make sure that he can keep number one behind. I don't think Grenster is sandbagging. I really think that Grenster is on this, and he's really putting in very, very, very quick times at the moment. The times are all over the place at the moment. We've gone from a 2:03.7 and a 2:03.4 for Grenster to a 1:20.3. So I think the timing charts are all over the place. Number one Pops a 2:04, 2:02, 2:02, and Grenster a 2:03, 2:03, 2:02. So you can see that overall there is absolutely nothing between these. A 2:02.752 from Grenster. Number one Pops with the fastest lap at 2:02.5. Nothing between these two, but now is where number one Pops needs to make that fastest lap count. Can he reel him in? He needs to stay out of the wall. He does. They both do really, really, really nicely. They are coming through this little section to start the last little sector of the lap, and then they'll be on lap number 6. The sun is out, the track is warm, the tyres are warm, the cars are absolutely on fire here. These two going so well. 0.6 between them. Chicken Yoga 16 seconds behind, so absolutely nothing to worry about from these two. They can really run their own race. And Chicken Yoga is still 18 ahead of Frank the Tank. I apologise that we're not looking at those guys at the back very much at the moment, but this race out front is enthralling. It has been incredible. Grenster has managed to stay out front the whole of the race so far. Number one Pops will have been studying the back of that car. He'll know where Grenster's quick. He'll know where Grenster's slow. He'll know where the opportunity might come. When can he make that move? Can he make it stick? And can he keep it? Grenster has driven an impeccable race. He really cannot afford a mistake. He's going defensive at the moment. Number one Pops is going to get a lovely exit out of this one. If he can get on the power hard, I think Grenster did too. It's still 0.7. There's nothing between these two guys at the moment. You can't call this. I think that Grenster has potentially got it. He's just got the flow at the moment with this Alfa Giulia. As I say, that number one closes up to 0.3. That was one of the sections where number one Pops very, very quick. And then we're going to get into another section where number one Pops has been on it. 0.4 goes out to 0.5. Grenster with a little bit of a wriggle on the exit there. Number one Pops, can he close up through this section? And then we get into the section where Grenster tends to be pretty quick. Grenster is now 0.4. Number one Pops going well. So this is a little area where Grenster has been pretty good. This little corner and then going up the hill through the final few. Number one Pops is giving this everything. The back of that car squirming around all over the place. He's got it down to 0.3 of a second. He really, really wants it, but I think the time is running out. Oh, number one Pops with a huge slide. That's thrown it away, I think. How on earth he managed to hold that slide, I do not know. But that has given it to Grenston. One tiny, tiny little mistake as number one Pops through everything at it. Another slide as well there where he's really trying everything. So kudos for trying. But Grenster 3 seconds ahead on the line at the end. Number one Pops really giving it everything. Chicken Yoga looks like his car has been in the wars a little bit. He's going to come through the last couple of corners to get a fine podium. He's going to get third place, 21 seconds ahead of Frank the Tank. That Alfa Romeo looking a little bit second hand. It's going to be off to the body shop very, very shortly. Frank the Tank is 15 seconds ahead of Fauci and Mad Mikey at the moment. Fauci and Mad Mikey quite a bit further back. And Grenson says, number one Pops, now that was a race worthy of remembering. Oh, it was incredible. Really went for it very well. So Frank the Tank does come across in fourth, and then we've got Fauci is going to come across in fifth. Back end of that car sliding around all over the place, just keeps it out the wall there. He's going to come across to claim fifth. And respect to Mad Mikey, he's had a bit of a mare in this one. He's 42 seconds back from Fauci, 1 minute 40 off the leader, but he is going to come through and finish this one. He had a blinding race in the Focus. Unfortunately, the Alfa, not his car tonight. And kudos, respect, and massive thank you to me for finishing the race, Mikey. Many people would have rage quit, but not at PSR. We see it through to the end. Congratulations, my friend. He comes across in sixth. Right, we're going to be heading off into GR land next. So hopefully we might be able to pick up a few more races for the next one. Very, very quiet tonight. And we might be getting to the point where I think we are going to be a bit too early for any of the Hulky guys joining us. I think they're going to miss this one, but we are Sardegna C in reverse. I'm actually going to take this one up to 10 laps. I'm going to up it from 6 to 10. Deadpool, Matt, Mikey. Wow, I had no feel at all with that car. Without being rude, I think we noticed you were struggling there. Really, really, really a lot. Number one Pop saying, great race, mate. Thank you to Grenster, and it was a banger of a race. Grenster did hold off, no mistakes, a 2:02.439 and the fastest lap in the end. He took that off of number one Pops at the end there. Outlaw number one Pops with a couple of mistakes at the end there where he was pushing for all his worth. A 2:02.516 coming in second. Chicken Yoga with a fine third with a 2:06.553, and then Frank the Tank fourth, Fauci fifth, and Mad Mikey in sixth for that one. Right, let's event settings, and we'll go into load. And we're going to here. I'm going to take this up to 10 laps, make it just a little bit longer. Practice race, and that's all fine and dandy. Let's get this one underway, and I am going to start the race for this one. No qualifier. This one is going to be starting at I'm going to hopefully start this one at 5:2. Actually, let's do this one at 57, so 5 minutes. Let's just get rid of that. XX 57, just to give some people time to find us and see if we can get one or two more people in. Number one Pops uses a manual shifter. I want to get myself a manual shifter. I haven't got one at the moment. Really ought to do that at some point. And well, I have actually. I've got one hidden up in the loft, I think, somewhere. But I've got to get the adapter. I've been watching to see when Logitech release one, and I'm not going to lie, I actually quite like the original one. I like the look and the feel of that one much more than the newer one, weirdly. But there we go. Let's just put some replay options on. So, like I said, we've got a little bit of time before we start this one. About 4 minutes to run. We're now into a situation where the guys can pick whatever GR4 car they like. So we are no longer single make. We did the Ford Focus RS 18. Wonderful race in that one. And then we were treated to a real spectacle with number one Pops and Grenster. Sorry, my brain is all over the place at the moment. A real wonderful race in that last one. But now we are in the GR cars. We'll see how we go. Number one Pops. Mine's a Logitech 1 and a G923 wheel. Ooh, cool beans, cool beans, cool beans. Right. So Libiath has joined us in the Megane. That's going to be a good car around here. Grenster's gone for the Mercedes. That is a car and a half in the P1R livery. A different P1R livery to normal. They normally have a white car with a blue, black and red. But this one is primarily blue, black and red. So a different livery for P1R there. Matt Mikey has gone for the Cayman. And he is in a Cuss Paul livery, basically blue-red with yellow trims. Chicken Yoga is in the maroon car. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it would. He's in the G70 as well. My favourite GR4 car of them all. Absolutely adore this car. Not normally a fan of the sort of Asian cars, the Toyotas, Nissans, Korean cars and stuff like that, but the G70 really does seem to suit me, and I like it very, very, very much. So Chicken Yoga in that one. Deluxe in the Porsche now, and Outlaw number one Pops is also in the G70. So we'll see how we go. But Grenster going for the Mercedes. He's set a 58.639. Matt Mikey has just gone top by 2 1/1000ths of a second. So we got a 58.637 for Matt Mikey, a 58.639 for Grenster, 0.002. It really almost cannot be any closer than that. We have had it in the past where people have been tied. I did have a stream once where two of them did it twice in 2 races, I think. Absolutely incredible. Not seeing a tied lap time in a while, but Libiath in third. And of course, at the moment, we are not doing the quali. We're going straight into the race. So for the moment, it's Grenster, Mab, Mikey, and Chicken Yoga, Deluxe, Libiath, number one Pops. And we are into purely PSR people for this one. Surprised we haven't got a few more people coming in, if I'm honest. Number one Pots prefers the G29, Neil. He can't get used to True Force. I adore True Force. I really, really, really do love it. Really love it. I'm sort of tempted to race this one, but I don't want to. I do want to rest so that I can get another couple of daily races in. Let's see how we go. It is 57. Let's start this race and we'll see how we go. We're doing GR3s at Watkins Glen for the next one. And it could well be the YouTube chat required that is putting people off joining us this evening. Or it might just be, it's a quiet night. Look, we've only got 9 people watching on the stream. It's just a quiet night. I had a few people lately that have said to me, how are things going with Gran Turismo 7 streaming? As a number of Gran Turismo 7 streamers that have left to go and do PMR and LMU and other bits and pieces. Some are doing Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, the Battlefield game as well. So I think that Gran Turismo 7 just losing its way just a little bit at the moment. Sim racing maybe just going off the boil, but I tell you what, I'm going nowhere because I adore sim racing, and I just adore the challenge, and I adore racing like this. Look at this, we've got denotes and Gr.x side by side all the way through there. Are they still side by side, or has Gr.x just got ahead? He's just got ahead as we go through this one. They do go line astern, but for the first few corners we were 2 by 2 I think through there. But it is Mad Mikey, 0.6, 0.7 out front at the moment. Did not like the Alfa. Oh, Gr.x in the gravel. That is going to hurt massively. Number 1 Pop's just managing to get out of the way of Gr.x, as Gr.x was just trying to scrabble back onto the edge of the track there. But the P1R racer finds himself dead last now. 5 seconds off of Mad Mikey, who is out front by some 2 seconds. And then we've got denotes, Chicken Yoga and Libiath all together. denotes half a second ahead of Chicken Yoga, who is 0.7 ahead of Libiath, and number 1 Pops is 0.3 on the back. So we've got a four car battle here that is going to be going on. And as I said, I've extended this one to 10 laps. The tyres and the fuel should be absolutely fine. And Chicken Yoga going for a move. He does get the move up the inside of denotes. denotes fighting back on the inside now. denotes with a lovely sweep around the outside, and I think that number 1 Pops got a great run on Chicken Yoga as well there. Sorry, Libiath with a run on Chicken Yoga, and then number 1 Pops as well. So Chicken Yoga unfortunately finding himself shuffled down a few places there. Number 1 Pop's taking a look up the inside of Libiath now, but not going to work on that occasion. He does get alongside. A little bit of a rub through there. Libiath gathers it up. Chicken Yoga just on the back of this one, can't quite find a way through as they weave their way up the top of the hill. Going to work their way back down again in a few moments, but they've got they're still going to climb. This bit's relatively flat, and then they've got the long climb up the start-finish straight. But it is Mad Mikey who is out front by some 4 seconds now. And then we've got this little group of cars. denotes is 1 second ahead of the charging group, which is Libiath, number 1 Pops, Chicken Yoga, and Gr.x has joined this one as well now. So this is the battle really for the podium. I think these guys might actually be closing up on denotes. I don't know whether denotes has had a little bit of an issue during that one, or Libiath going a little bit wide, trying to get on the power early. Number 1 Pop's not quite able to do anything with that one, and Gr.x are all over the back of Chicken Yoga at the moment. Chicken Yoga going a little bit defensive to try and keep Gr.x behind. They all need to keep it out of the wall up here, otherwise things are going to change massively. Hard on the brakes, they do stay out of that. Libiath just with a wheel in the gravel there, a few little stones being kicked up as he's pushing the track limits to the absolute limit to try and see what he can do. A little bit of tyre smoke there, as I think they may well in a little bit of a touch with number 1 Pops and Libiath, but number 1 Pops tucks in behind Libiath, and Gr.x I think finally got a move on Chicken Yoga. And Gr.x to get up the inside of number 1 Pops as well. He's got a great run as we go up the hill, but it is going to be the last of the late breakers into the top corner. They're going to have to get that rotating then on the power as quickly as they can. Again, this is anybody's race. This little group is as tight as you like. Mad Mikey and denotes out front at the moment by some margin. denotes 2 seconds ahead of this little pack. Libiath has got the advantage at the moment, but probably got his eye on the mirrors, as will Gr.x as outlaw number 1 Pops tries to find a way through. He's got a tighter line. He's got up alongside Gr.x. He's going to have the inside for this corner. Can he make it work? Gr.x is going to have to go around the outside. Gr.x just leaving enough room, and then he gets the inside for the final corner. They're then going to head up the hill. These cars completely tight together. Who's had the benefit off that corner? Number 1 Pops with a beautiful, beautiful exit. He's got the speed, but I think the Gr.x has just got a bit of a slipstream off of Libiath now, which has helped him to stay ahead of number 1 Pops. Grenstead goes to the inside, just having a little look up the inside of Libiath. They are going to be side by side. Libiath taking the wider line. He's going to have the inside line as we go down the hill. They're going to be side by side. Oh, they're not. No, Grenstead tucks in behind. So Grenstead just biding his time at the moment. We've got 4 laps to go after this one. So 4.5 laps to go. Still plenty of time for this one to sort itself out. Mad Mikey some 5 seconds down the road at the moment. Dr.x 2 seconds ahead of this little group, going well in the Porsche. But it is Libiath just ahead of Grenstead, just ahead of number 1 Pops. Chicken Yoga just dropped off the back of this little pack for the moment. Gravel being sent up everywhere. I think Chicken Yoga has just had his car pebble dashed as he was following this little group through here. Libiath channeling the inner Jason Plato at the moment as Grenstead goes for a move up the inside, late on the brakes. Libiath going for that typical wider line that he's favouring, but I think the Grenstead has seen that. He's got that move done this time. I think he knew that Libiath was going to go deep. He'd been sizing that one up for the last 2 or 3 laps and clinical on the execution of that pass. Oh, Libiath as he's pushing behind Grenstead now. I don't know if there's a little bit of dirty air there, but he found the barrier. That's dropped him back into the clutches of number 1 Pots, but he's up to speed now and he's just managing to stay ahead as Grenstead just tries to gap the group behind. It's 0.8 of a second, and then it is Libiath and number 1 Pops locked together, and Chicken Yoga just off the back of this one. Mad Mikey going so well. He's on lap 8 of 10 as he comes around the top corner here in that Porsche. He is 6 seconds out in front, owning this one. An awful race in the Alfa. Just goes to show sometimes you can jump in a car that you love and you can jump in a car that you hate. Mad Mikey's had a love-hate relationship with his cars this evening, but he's on the ball in this one. 6.3, showering the track with gravel. Dr.x is going to have to watch that as he comes through. No such problem. Outlaw number 1 Pops and Chicken Yoga coming through. Oh, we've lost Grenstead. Grenstead down in 5th now. Grenstead must have had a bit of a... he must have had an off. We've missed that off of the camera. Libiath with his hazard lights on at the moment. But Grenstead having a bit of an issue. No such problem for Mad Mikey. He's like pretty much half a straight ahead of Dr.x. 6.6 seconds. And we just got Libiath, I think, getting into Grenstead. So I think that Libiath might have had Grenstead off. Libiath dropping back also. He's dropped behind Grenstead now. Respectful and playing by the PSR rules. It was tight. It was hard racing. Libiath 5.4 behind now. Grenstead acknowledging the apology. So respect to you two. Thank you for respecting the rules. I really appreciate that. But it is Mad Mikey who's 6.5 seconds out front. He's on lap 9 at the moment. He's going to be coming across the line to start number 10. We've got Dr.x is 2 seconds ahead of number 1, who is 1.7 ahead of Yoga, who is 5.3 ahead of Grenstead, and Libiath is 5 back. Unfortunately, Libiath and Grenstead's race all over, but they're all starting to really fan out a little bit at the moment. We were having some fantastic battles, but just at the end, 1 or 2 little errors crept in and it all went a little bit wibbly wobbly. And Ray's just saying, hey dude, what time are you staying on till? Should be on in 20 minutes if you're still on. I'm gonna be, I've got another race to run after this one, and then I'm hoping to get into the daily races on or around about 11 o'clock. Whether we will get a Nords run in or I throw some other race out, I don't know. We will see. And Zach said, hey Mitch, I'm back, just had a league race. Not a problem, my friend. I did say there was quite a few league races going on. Mad Mikey coming across the line there to claim first. Dr.x with a fine second. Number 1 Pops chasing hard behind, 2.4. And Chicken Yoga just a little bit further back, 1.6, claims 4th. Then we get Grenstead recovering for 5th. And Libiath with that apology, coming in sixth and last place in that one. It was a hard-fought battle there. Not surprised that there was an incident which we didn't see off camera because it was super tight. But a great race until around about halfway. I think if I'd left that as 6 laps, we would have had a barnstormer right the way to the end. It was in the last few laps where it all undid a little bit. Rachel, thank you for popping in, saying hello. Welcome. Mikey saying, when the lobby is empty, it's sometimes best to start a new lobby. It puts it at the top of the lobby list. We can do that. Richardson is in. Sorry, Grenster, I changed my brake balance on the straight and went the wrong way. And, well, we got a few in at the moment. So I'll leave it as it is for the moment, and we'll just see how things pan out. We're going to load this one up because we are at Watkins Glen for this one, and I'm going to leave it as 6 laps. We'll leave it as practice and race, and we will see how we go for this one. And I'm just enjoying the racing with these guys. We've got Grenster, David76 has joined, Mad Mikey, Chicken Yoga, Deluxe, me, Zach Vroom, Libiath, and number 1 Pops in this one. So we're in the GR3s for this one. Any GR3 car, the guys can choose whichever car they want now. The standard set cars have now been dealt with, and we'll see how we go. It'll be interesting to see what cars they choose. So this is going to be 6 laps around Watkins Glen, long course in the GR3s. We're 2 and 2 on tyres and fuel, and we will see how we go. Grenster says, tyre wear will be diabolical. Be very interesting to see how people manage the tyres in this one. Do people decide to choose a different car that might be better in the with tyre wear for this one? You know, that could be a factor. Libya's gone for the Viper. Mad Mikey and number 1 Pop's gone for the 992. That's going to chew tyres potentially. We will have to see how we go. And Grenster now, he's in the M6, in the P1R livery there. The classic P1R livery that I am used to, primarily blue and white with the black line down the side rather than the black that he was running earlier on. And he is in the M6 GT3 endurance model. Interesting to go for the endurance rather than the sprint for this one, where the sprint is normally a little bit more dexterous is not the word, it's a bit more agile through some of the corners and getting the power down, whereas the endurance can be a little bit more forgiving. So, you know, if it was me, I'd have gone for the endurance. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit surprised to see Grenster in that one. Chicken Yoga jumped into the Viper, the classic maroon livery, well, not livery, but the maroon coloured car that he is becoming synonymous with in our races at the moment. Deluxe in the R8. The R8 could be very, very quick around here. That is going to be one to watch. He's in the grey and orange coloured car. Zach Room has gone for the M6 Sprint model, the one I thought would be the choice car around here. Libiath in the Viper, as we said, and then number 1 Pops in the 992. Let me just let everybody know when we are starting this one. I think that whoever said it, who was it? Mikey was saying about restarting the lobby. I think you could have been right. It is slow, but we'll have to see how things go. What I want to do is, no, I don't want to accept. That's the one I want. We're going to be starting this race. It's going to be starting at 1/4 regardless of the number of people that we've got. So 3 minutes and we will get this one underway. We've got Grenster, Mad Mikey, Chicken Yoga, Deluxe, Zach Vroom, Libiath, number 1 Pops, and lovely X Bella in this one. And I'm assuming that's she, says, "Miss me, GT Exports driver, esports driver, a GT esports driver." Number one pops. Yes, it is a public lobby. It is a public lobby. And I think she's just left. That was a shame. Like I said, I can open this one up again, close it and open it if you guys want. Give me a double thumbs up in the chat if you want me to close and reopen the lobby and see if we can get a few more in. Jack Kobe, good evening, my friend. We may well find a few people coming off from Hulky's GT Championships, which I would imagine has now finished. Grenster's fine with the current settings and drivers. To be quite honest, it's been a some good races tonight. I've really enjoyed it. We've got a couple of minutes, and we see who else joins. Can I just do a massive thank you to Jack Kobe for the Daily Race B lap time that put in. I've managed to shave a few tenths of a second off. I'm still stuck on where I was last night. Haven't been able to go quicker. But Jack, I have now managed to get my A, and I'm 32,543 on the DR. So I've managed to improve by 2,569. On the first race, I improved by 2,100, I think it was, or something. Only got about 300 or 400 in the second race because I was in with primarily A-rank racers. But we have got there. We've got there. So a massive thank you to you, my friend, for helping me. And I'm continuing to chase your ghost at the moment. I can see that. So Jack Kobe saying, "How you been getting on?" Just not actually doing anything in the lobbies at the moment because I'm trying to rest, but got on pretty well. What we started 10th, finished 3rd for the first race, started 8th and finished 5th, I think, in the A ranked lobby. So I was really pleased with that. Where are I? Nessim Racing is. Hi Mitchell, hi everyone in the lobby. Hope you're all keeping well and enjoying the racing. Congratulations on your A ranked rating, Mitchell. Great effort. Thank you very much. The big question now is, can I keep it? And Jack Kobe's just saying, could you just give me 2 minutes? I don't see that being a problem. Just he is in the lobby at the moment, so let's just see. Hulky's just joining us, and Jack, let me know when you are ready. I don't know if he's putting the puppy out in the garden to go to the loo, but if you can just give me a thumbs up when you're ready, Jack, and then we will get this race underway. So it'll be a little bit after the 15, but we will get going. William is just joining as well. Wheels Racing, so he's joining. A lovely mix of cars in here. The 992 looking popular with Jack Kobe, Wills, Mad Mikey, Hulky, and number one Pops in that one. But we got Libiath in the Viper, Zach Vroom in the M6, Deluxe in the R8. Chicken Yoga is also in the Vipers. We've got a couple of Vipers in here, and we got a couple of M6s. So looking pretty good. Jack Kobe is ready. So we'll get this one underway. I don't know how the grid order is going to be set, but we have got Jack Kobe, Grenster, Wheels Racing, Mad Mikey, Chicken Yoga, Deluxe, Zach Vroom, Hulky, Libiath, and number one Pops. Watch out for Mad Mikey. Brilliant first race. Awful second race. Outstanding third race. What will his fortunes be in this one? And we've now got Jack Kobe's joined, Hulky's joined as well, and Zach Vroom is back, and we'll see how we go in this one. You all right, coach? Good luck, everybody. Oh, Ray Purchase is just firing up. Oh, his I was just reading that. We just missed him. Poor old Ray. We'll see. We may well get another one after this one, because I think that we are going to be we're going to be okay on time, leading up to 11 o'clock when I'm going to get in the daily races. So Ray, yeah, may well do another one. I'm probably going to open this up to the winner to choose the combo. At the moment, that is looking like Libiath, who is 0.6 of a second ahead of Mad Mikey, who is 0.4 ahead of Chicken Yoga, 0.1 ahead of Grenster, and then it is 0.6 back to Zach Vroom. Denotes is 0.2 behind, Hulky 0.5 behind, 0.3 back to number one Pops. Wills Racing in and number one Pops, Jack Kobe and Wills, nothing between those guys at the back at the moment, and Jack Kobe is running dead last at the minute. He will have dropped back to last place to then try and find his way through. Number one Pops with a half-second penalty, unfortunately, but we've got the all of the Porsches seem to be at the back here at the moment. We've got Hulky, Wills, Jack Kobe and number one Pops in the Porsches right at the back. Denotes having a little look up the inside of Zach Vroom there, but Zach Vroom's going to have the inside for the next couple of corners. But it is Mikey who is 0.3 ahead. Libiath now picking up a half-second penalty. So penalties are going to be playing a big part in this one. Whoa, it's fast and furious, this one. Grenster finds himself in third at the moment. 1 second behind Libiath and 0.7 behind Chicken Yoga. But I tell you what, behind Chicken Yoga, it is Chicken Yoga, Zach Vroom, Denotes, Hulky. Nothing between those guys. Jack Kobe's in the mix too. Zach Vroom and Denotes side by side through there. They're going to work their way through this bit to work their way up towards the bus stop. They're not going to be able to go side by side through there. I think Denotes is going to have to tuck in behind Zach. So BMW, nice car around here. Zach Vroom going defensive. Denotes just trying to pick up the toe there. Zach Vroom moves across for the braking zone. That was his one move, all good. Being careful through the bus stop. None of them want to pick up penalties now. I think penalties are really going to hurt you badly. Chicken Yoga in the Viper. Oh, he loses out to Zach Vroom, who just puts it up the inside there as we get a car or two going off in the background there. Outlaw or Jack Kobe. Jack Kobe round. Was that an unforced error? Oh, I don't think it was. Wills Racing has backed out too. So it looks like Jack Kobe and Wills Racing we've lost. Number one Pops is still running. Number one Pops is 6 seconds back from Hulky. And Hulky making a move, I think, around the outside of Libiath potentially. These guys really close together. We got 4 or 5 cars all running really well there. Looking like Jack Kobe facing the wrong way. Not often we see that. And then just a fantastic little battle for what effectively is podium places, really. Mad Mikey is 2.7 seconds ahead, but then it's Grenster's only 0.3 ahead of Zach, who's 1.2 ahead of Chicken, who is, well, swapping places with Denotes. And Hulky's right in there as well. These three absolutely locked together in a monumental battle. We've got Viper versus Audi versus Porsche, 3 manufacturers, and they are absolutely locked together. Nothing between these guys. Please, please, please don't get penalties as we go through the bus stop for this time. Denotes up the inside. The Denotes in the Audi is going to go through. Chicken Yoga's got a lovely line through there. Hulky too. No dramas. Any of these guys, Denotes just gapping this Hulky and Chicken Yoga just as these two are battling. I don't know if the battle is slowing them down ever so slightly, but Chicken Yoga needs to get on with it and get on the back of Denotes. Otherwise, Denotes is going to manage to gap, and also Libiath is taking advantage of this little battle that is going on and closing up to. Oh, as I knock my water over. Not got a lot of water left. I should have filled this one up. We've got a lovely battle here with Grenster and Zach Vroom side by side through there. They're still side by side. as they go through the left-hander. Zach Vroom's going to have to tuck in behind. But I tell you what, that BMW is quick. They're both in the BMW. Grenster with the advantage at the moment. But can Zach Vroom get a good exit on this corner? Do anything to close down on Grenster, and Denotes is charging behind. So Denotes has managed to gap the guys behind. He's 1.6 ahead of Chicken Yoga and Hulky, that are still very much together with Libiaf off the back. But Grenster with a huge slide there. Zach will have seen that, and he will have thought, oh, I'll have some of that, please. Zach Vroom, he's in the dirty air, but he's pushing Grenster. He's intimidating Grenster. Is Grenster going to get an intimidation and make a mistake as Zach Vroom puts his car up the inside going into the bus stop? He's got the better fit, but he can't quite get there. He backs out to make sure that he gets a good run through the bus stop. They don't want to take each other out. Zach Vroom enjoying this one. It is Mad Marky out front in first. Grenster is in second, some 5 seconds behind. Zach Vroom locked in a battle with Grenster. Zach Vroom trying to go round the outside now, and all the time Denotes is sitting there just reining these two guys in while they're fighting. Zach Vroom still can't find a way past Grenster. Denotes now right on the back of Zach Vroom. So Zach Vroom has not only got the front to look, he's got the rear to look at as well. Zach Vroom, he's going around the outside now into this corner where we've got a right, left. Denotes well positioned. He's right up on the back of Grenster. Is he going to manage to find his way through by simply getting onto the back of Grenster? I think he may well have done. Zach Vroom with a tighter line through there, trying to get up the inside. He's not going to be able to do that. Denotes going for the inside. That's going to push Grenster slightly wide and trying to find his way through there. Grenster with the wider angle. He's had to concede that place. Denotes finding his way through, and Grenster with a half-second penalty. So Zach is going to see that one. Denotes with a lovely opportunistic move through that corner. Grenster just leaving, or Zach Vroom, one or the other, can't remember now, just leaving the door ever so slightly open. And Denotes said, I don't need a second opportunity, I'm going to take it. And Zach Vroom and Grenster find themselves side by side yet again as we go up towards the bus stop. Who is going to come out ahead at the end of the bus stop? Zach Vroom has got the inside. I think he's got the line. Grenster tucks in behind. Just behind it is Chicken Yoga ahead of Libiath and Hulky, 5th, 6th and 7th. Grenster with the half-second penalty. He is likely to drop back into this chasing group, I think, and that is going to leave Denotes and Zach Vroom to fight it out for the podium places. Out front at the moment is Mad Mikey by some 7 seconds. Mikey really on it this evening. He's only had one race where he really struggled, but as you can see, he's in that Porsche and he is absolutely loving it. A 1:4.69, a 1:4.66, a 1:4.65 are his lap times. Jack Kobe with a 1:4.63 and trying to find his way through after the incident earlier on. But Zach Vroom and Denotes, they are fighting it out for the second and third podium places. Zach Vroom not leaving anything on the table there with a massive slide out of that corner. I don't think it really cost him too much. I think it helped to rotate the car actually a little bit there, and he's closed up to Zach Vroom. They are really pushing each other. Probably not a lot of point in bump drafting at the moment because Mad Mikey is some 7.5 seconds down the road, but there could be an opportunity to bump draft for these two to stay ahead of Chicken Yoga, because Chicken Yoga is 3 seconds behind. And no, these two are going to go for it. Zach Vroom and Denotes side by side again. It is the M6 and the Audi. Really going for it. Two German cars. They are really on it. Zach Vroom switches to the outside. He's looking for a faster exit through here, but Denotes keeping it tidy and neat and tidy. So Zach Vroom cannot find a way through at the moment. We are on the final lap. We are into the closing stages. If Zach is going to make a move, he's got to make it soon. He's trying one around the outside. That's going to be very brave if he can do that. He can't, but he's going to get a lovely run down the hill. Denotes is going to have the inside line for this one. we come up into the penalty zone. No penalties to worry. Zach Vroom taking the wider line to try and get onto the power earlier. He gets a lovely little slide there to get it rotated, and he's on the back of Denotes. Denotes catching it a little bit tighter, and he has managed to hold that place. It is Mad Mikey who is out front, looking serene, 8.8 seconds. But behind it is Denotes and Zach Vroom that are locked in a tumultuous battle. There's a great battle going on behind as well. Mad Mikey is going to come across the lead. I'm not going to run with him because there is just too much going on. We've got Denotes and Zach Vroom, and then Grenster and Hulky locked in a battle behind as well. Who is going to come across the line to take the podium places? Mad Mikey gets the win, but Denotes I think is going to come across just ahead of Zach. And then it is going to be Libiath who is going to come across in fourth, with Grenster right on his tail, and Hulky's just behind. Chicken Yoga just ahead of Jacoby, and then we've got number one Pops who's a little bit further back in ninth, with Wheels Racing trying to recover from that incident with Jacoby earlier on. So what a race out front. Mad Mikey owned that one, but it was Denotes and Zach Vroom really with the entertainment, and it was absolutely incredible. And Mad Mikey, Deadpool saying that was probably the best 6 laps I've ever done. Grenster, oh, I love being the late breaker into corners side by side. And wow, absolutely incredible. Let's just save that replay. I don't think there's any stewards inquiries in that one. It was tight as you like, and battles all the way through that one. I think Grenster's loving the racing with Zach, and Zach running in the Burnley College Esports Olympics on Friday. How will he do will be very interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have Twitch or TikTok, so I won't be able to watch the races, but I hope that he's going to let us know how he does. Hopefully he'll bring home a trophy of some sort, as did Mad Mikey in that one. A 146.417 for the win. Denotes fighting off Zach Vroom for second. Denotes with a 147.444. Zach Vroom with a 146.934. Libiath in fourth, just ahead of Grenster, who held Hulky for fifth, and Hulky in sixth, just ahead of Chicken Yoga in seventh. Jacoby recovering to eighth with the fastest lap of 145.7. Outlaw number one Pops back there in ninth, with Wheels Racing in 10th. Your top three, Mad Mikey, Denotes and Zach Vroom, but monumental battles all the way through. Libiath just managing to hold off the battle between Libiath, Grenster, Hulky and Chicken Yoga in the mid part there. Right, I am going to load up the... we're going to do Nords. I don't care. We're going Nords. 2 laps. We're going to go with the GR3s. And let's get this one underway. And this will be the last one of this evening. And we'll see how we go. So I am going to get this one underway. So this race is going to be starting at 35, so 4 minutes time, just to enable people to sort out cars, go to the loo, do whatever they want to do, and then we will get this one underway. Wow. Sim Racing saying great racing and great commentary, sensational, as Murray would have said. I model myself on Murray Walker. He's my absolute hero, Murray Walker. I used to love his commentary back in the day, and one of the things I'm thoroughly enjoying is doing the commentaries. And it has been said, why did I not do the commentaries on the World Series and stream those when Proliferate Digital asked? I didn't feel that I was good enough. I didn't feel that I also had the time. But maybe if they do that again in the future, that might be something I do. The noise you can hear is Coda in the background, just playing with a toy. And we're losing Chicken Yoga at the moment. Thank you very much for racing with us this evening. Also, Richardson is off. Thank you for racing, guys. Thank you very much. And Jack Kobe saying still a few more tenths off that lap time for sure. There's never a perfect lap. I'm assuming he's talking about the daily race B, although I can't get close to it at the moment. And Deadpool saying, okie dokie, I will have to call it time tonight. Great racing apart from Alfa. See you all later. So we're losing a few people. We've still got 9 people racing in this one. We've lost a few. We've got Jacoby, Grenster, Sam has joined us. Wheels Racing, Dnotes, Zach Vroom, Hulky Outlaw, Ray Purchase as well. I'm just going to say hello to Sam and pick those 2 out there. And Sam, if it is the Sam, used to race with us a while ago. Not a registered racer at the moment, but we are on a public lobby at the moment, so anybody can join in. And you can see that Ray's joined us as well. And Deadpool just saying, too late for me to try this race. I do intend to try more laps here in the future, though. Not a problem, my friend. You've had some great races tonight. What you need to do, though, is go out there and practice in that Alfa Giulia. I might do an Alfa Giulia night all night. There you go. No, I won't. We did that just recently. We did do that just recently. But yeah, 3 brilliant races. S7R Sliced has just joined us, so we got a couple of people that have joined, and we'll see how it goes. So again, it is just GR3 cars, any cars for this one. We got Jack Kobe is gone in the 992 Porsche. Grenster is in the 4C. Sam is in the M6 Sprint. Wheels Racing is in 992. Dnotes is in the R8. Zach Vroom in the BMW M6 Sprint. Sliced has also gone for the M6 Sprint. Hulky in the 992, as is number 1 Pops. Ray Purchase jumped into the Mercedes AMG GT3, and yeah, looking good. Deadpool says no to a Giulia night. Well, we did one just recently, so you won't be put through that anytime soon, my friend. I feel the urge to stream also, might even tackle the dailies and see how far I can, how quickly you can lose his rating. Oh, it's quite difficult. Are you all right? Yeah. Do me a favor. Can you see that white pad? Can you just put the pad on my pillow? Just the pad. Put it on my pillow. So when I see that, I'll remember to put it in. Right, okay, where are we? 35. So we've got Jacoby, Grenster, Sam, Wheels Racing, Dnotes, Zach Vroom, Sliced, Hulky, number 1 Pops, Ray Purchase. Those are your runners. Let's get this one underway. Weather could hit on this one. We will see how things go. And yeah, going to be interesting. And we've got a new version of Gran Turismo coming out tomorrow. Several people have mentioned to me, when am I going to get into the rest of the daily race videos? I do need to get those done. They are mounting up on me massively at the moment, and it's just time. But I do want to try and get some of those done. Now that I'm racing a little bit more, I'm hoping to do that. Oh, we've just lost Wheels Racing. So we've already lost one on the line straight away. I'm not sure what that was all about. But it's going to be Jack Kobe's going to pull off to one side. Grenster is therefore going to take the lead, and Sam's second. Dnotes is going to come through into third. As we go down into the first corner, it is going to be Grenster, Zach Vroom. Sam just losing out ever so slightly through there. Ayrton Senna on the side of his car there, in the Marlboro McLaren colours. But it is Grenster who finds himself 1 second out front. And Will's just joining again. I don't know if Wills is actually able to get into this one. Not quite sure what happened there, but it is Grenster 1 second out front. And he is leading Sam by 0.3, 0.4 of a second. It's 0.4 back to Ray Purchase and 0.4 back to Sliced. 0.2 back to Hulky. Hulky's 0.3 ahead of number 1 Pops, who's 0.2 ahead of Jack Kobe. And then Dnotes 0.2 ahead of Jack Kobe as well. So behind Jack Kobe. So very tight. And Kobe with a half-second penalty So that is going to hurt massively when we get to the long straight. Oh, Jack Kobe, I think he might, don't know what happened there. Number one Pops just went off to the side there. Don't know whether that was the two of them just getting into each other, but number one Pops not having a good one in this one. There is a long way to go, my friend. The weather could hit later, so stick with it and see how we go. I don't know whether there was a bit of a bump there or not, but Wheels Racing got an unexpected error. That's a shame. Right, Grenster with Zach Vroom just behind. It's horrible when you get an unexpected error and then you're just out. Jack Kobe and number one Pops. Jack Kobe just asking if we touched. It did look as if there was a bit of a touch, the way that number one Pops speared off at a very strange angle. I think there might have been a bit of netcode in that one. I'm not quite sure. Number one Pops saying no, mate. So there wasn't. Number one Pops dropped it on his own. So Jack Kobe is okay to race, but Hulky has dropped back to race with number one Pops anyway. So I think that Hulky has respectfully dropped to the back, and let's see how we go. It's Grenster and Zach Vroom out front at the moment. Zach Vroom has really been on it tonight. He's been the last couple of races really been up there, and Grenster all across the grass there. Zach Vroom, no such drama, and Sliced running very, very well in third. Grenster getting it really sideways. That Alfa 4C not looking nice in the dirty air and through those corners. Grenster dropping down into third. Grenster normally very, very, very good around the Nordschleife, but it is the two BMWs that are out front at the moment. Zach Vroom and Sliced. Sliced is not a PSR registered racer, so be interesting to see how he goes. Zach Vroom and Grenster are. Denotes in fourth at the moment, 4.3 seconds back. 4 seconds ahead of Sam, who is 1 ahead of Ray Purchase, who has got Jack Kobe right on his back bumper at the moment. And then you've got Outlaw number one Pops and Hulky a little bit further back. Number one Pops reversing it into the barrier there, and yeah, number one Pops turning it around, and Hulky is just racing with him to keep him company at the moment. Hulky, I appreciate that, thank you very much. Right, where are we? Zach Vroom and Sliced are the two out front at the moment. Grenster's fallen back 1.2 seconds, so the Alfa 4C looking to be a little bit woeful at the moment, whereas the two BMWs looking really good. We've got nobody with the weather map up at the moment, so we don't know what the weather is doing. It's starting to look a little bit grey, although there are still some shadows, so the sun is still out. Whether there are going to be any spots of rain in this one, or whether it's going to stay dry, I don't know. Zach's car just looking a little bit slidey through that corner there. The lights are going on as it gets darker. So we've got lights have gone on for Grenster and Zach Vroom, also for Sliced as well at the moment. And Sliced taking a little look up the inside of Zach. Can you get that done? They're side by side as they come down into this corner. They're still side by side, these two. Going through these corners, still side by side. Zach Vroom just having to jump in behind. Obviously, it's always difficult going side by side with somebody that you don't know. And Zach just looks like he potentially bailed out of that one, has just given Sliced a 1.1 second advantage at the moment. But, Grenster's not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination. He's running third at the moment. And then we've got Denotes in fourth. Jacoby's up to fifth. Now, Jack has got the half-second penalty, so he is going to have to really get on with this. He could really do with a slipstream down the long straight, but he's some 3.8 seconds behind Denotes. He is catching by a few tenths of a second, but will it be enough? Sam running well in sixth, with Ray in seventh. Hulky and Outlaw at the back at the moment, as we just joined Sliced we see him recovering from the grass. I don't know if that cost him any time. It's 1.2 to Zach Vroom now, but Sliced obviously feeling the pressure and finding it necessary to use all of the track a little bit more. He's been into the barrier. You can see he's got damage on the front of the car at the moment. Can Zach do anything to penalise Sliced for that? We have actually got the windscreen wipers are on now, so there is a little bit of moisture on the track, and they're only on for a moment or two. Zach Vroom getting a lot of air over the jump, slowing it down nicely. Sliced 1 second ahead, and Zach Vroom 2.5 seconds ahead of Grenster. So the two BMWs just dropping the Alfa for the moment. Zach Vroom getting that BMW light on the springs through there, looking absolutely lovely. He's chasing down Sliced, who's got this nicely under control at the moment. Zach Vroom not able to close. Sliced just managing that 1.1 gap through the carousel, and Sliced just gets a few tenths of a second. He's pushed it out to 1.3, and Grenster drops to 3.2 now. Grenster having a bit of a mare in the Alfa 4C. Potentially not a good choice of car around here. It seems to be struggling. He is 5.7 ahead of Denotes, but no slipstream down the main straight. Denotes has got Jack Kobe right behind him. Jack might pick up a slipstream. He serves the penalty and he's going to fall further back. He's lost the slipstream for sure now. Sam will be chasing him down. Jack Kobe staying out on the left-hand side of the track. Sam in 6th, Ray Purchase in 7th. And then we've got Outlaw and Hulky running together at the back there. But it is Sliced now with a 1.2 second lead as they come across the line to start lap number 2. It looks like it is going to be a dry race. I can't see anybody jumping in for the intermediate tyres. So it looks like they've got away with it yet again, this one. We did get a wet one, which caught a lot of people out when I did this a couple of days ago, and then the last couple of times it's been fairly dry, so there was a little bit of a threat with the windscreen wipers going on, but now we get into a dry period where the sun comes out, and then random weather for the final sector of this one. The race split into 4 sections for the weather, and we'll see how we go, but Grenster's calling this as a dry race. Sliced will be very, very glad to hear that, as will Zach, and Zach just managed to close up ever so slightly as we go around the Nürburgring track, and big slide there from Zach Vroom, and that's cost him 1.3 now. He was just under a second, just showing that sliding, it might look great on track, but unless you can get a 4-wheel drift just to get it rotated, a big slide through a corner is going to hurt you a lot, and now Zach Vroom is having to try and recover and push hard. Sliced really got this one in the bag, in my opinion. He's 1.4 out front. He clearly knows the Nordschleife. He's running very, very, very nicely. You can see he's hooking up these curves beautifully. There is some damage on the front. He's not infallible. He has been off, and he had some damage on the front, which is obviously cleaned up with the light damage. 1.8 seconds ahead of Zach Vroom at the moment, who closes by a couple of tenths as we start the run around the Nordschleife. Grenster is some 5 seconds back now. Grenster is normally absolutely brilliant around the ring, but I think he's going to be ruining the day that he decided to take the Alfa 4C, because it just doesn't seem to have any answer for the M6s, and before long I wouldn't be surprised if he has got Jack Kobe chasing him down. Jack Kobe was 6 seconds behind a moment ago. It is now down to 5.6. So Jack Kobe is constantly closing, and he's got a country mile to make up that time. We can't quite see Jack on camera behind Grenster at the moment, and Grenster pushing for all his might. What can he do? He's 4 seconds behind Zach Vroom, who's obviously had a bit of a moment because he's dropped 3 seconds behind Slice. So Zach Vroom losing 2 seconds to Slice, and giving those 2 seconds away to Grenster, who's managed to close it to 4 seconds. So Zach is going to need to recompose, gather his thoughts, and just try and keep this BMW on the track and going in a straight line. Sliced out front, looking like he's absolutely got this one in hand. As I said, he's not infallible. Look at the front of that car, looking very, very damaged on the left-hand side. He's been into the barrier already. Could still happen, so anything could happen in this one. But he's 3.3 out front. Tyres looking good, and Zach pushing on. He is going to need some luck, I think, in this one, though. He's going to have to get that rhythm back and see if he can close down those 3.5 seconds. Grenster 4 seconds behind, and Zach Vroom, as I say that, gets up onto the curb there and into the barrier. So the gap's going out to, well, it's 3.5, so I don't think that cost him too much. And well, 3.7 now sliced when we get the delta. It's Grenster 3.9 behind, with Jack Kobe 4.7 behind him. So Jack Kobe closing, but very, 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 very slowly. I think Jack is going to need some blinding corners, some great exits on this one to catch Grenster. Grenster is very, very, very quick around the Nords. Often he's on the top step, but as you can see, Jack Kobe can now see Grenster ahead of him, and he goes down to 2.7. So Grenster has had another moment in the Alfa 4C. Whether that was just a run across the grass or not, I do not know, but Jack Kobe closing down on the P1R racer. Come on, the PSR racer. Let's do it for the community. Grenster sitting in his car thinking, I'm going to do it for the P1R community. Sliced 4 seconds ahead of Zach Vroom at the moment. Zach is still pushing hard. He's 5.4 ahead of Grenster. But Grenster is pushing hard. He's got Jack Kobe closing, really, really closing now, as Grenster 2 wheels on the grass again through there. It's all right putting 2 wheels on the grass at the moment, but you don't want to do any more than that. Jack Kobe is going to be just under 2 seconds in just a moment. Jack Kobe loves that Porsche 992. Ever since it came out, he jumps in it more often than not. He was absolutely sublime around the Yas Marina circuit. I was watching some of his replays when I was trying to learn it, and it was just incredible to watch him racing around there. And he's 2.5 behind at the moment. He's some 10 seconds off. I'm going to throw this one open to the winner. Or no, it won't, because we won't be doing another race after this. This one will be it, and then I'm going to get back into the dailies. So his Sliced 2 is out front at the moment. He's just got this last little technical section, and then he's going to be on to the long straight down to the final few corners. So I think at 5 seconds out front, Sliced has absolutely got this one in the bag, running beautifully. 1 or 2 little errors he had, but since then he's absolutely settled down. He got that gap to Zach Vroom, and then after that he's just been running an exemplary race, picking up all of the apexes, lovely braking zones, just dialing it in really, really nicely. He can probably settle back, I think, a little bit now as he comes through the last couple of corners. He's got the left-hander. He's going to be picking up the small carousel, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. Jumps out, no dramas. He's got the right-handers, and then he's going to be going down onto the main straight. 6.6 seconds. He's just going from strength to strength. Zach Vroom really did give it his best shot, and I think he's been outclassed towards the end. He was there for the longest time, but then Slice just seemed to get into the rhythm, and once he got the gap, as is often the case when you can get in the rhythm and you're not worrying about the mirrors and you're not defending, you can often then just gap the car behind, and we've seen that in action. But what we haven't seen is Jack Kobe closing up on Grenster. He's now 0.5 of a second Grenster is in trouble here. Jacoby with the slipstream. We know that the Alfa 4C has been an absolute handful. We know that the Porsche is dynamite at the end here under the braking, and in Jacoby's hands, anything that could happen. It's going to need to be the last of the late breakers. There's just half a second between these two. Jacoby with the slipstream. They hit the brakes. They hit the marks. Grenster carrying the inside. It's all about this exit. They've both got a beautiful exit. They've got a great run. Jacoby has gonna get the slipstream. Lights are blazing. You just can't do it on the line. Grenster gets in by 0.2. How close was that? And just behind, Denotes right on the back of Sam. Sam with a lovely 5th place. Denotes is going to come across in 6th. Ray Purchase in the Mercedes. Not seeing very much of him in this one, I'm afraid, but he's going to come across the line to take 7th. But that was an incredible race. Sliced really did own that one. Ray some 22 seconds back, but he comes across the line to take 7th. And then Hulky and Outlaw having a little bit of a battle between the two of them. Who is going to come across the line for 8th and 9th. Number 1 Pops pushing Hulky at the moment. They've now got the long straight. Number 1 Pops is going to have the benefit of the slipstream. Who is going to come out ahead as they reach the bottom? Number 1 Pops breaks the slipstream, goes alongside. This is going to be another case of last of the late breakers. They're side by side as they get down to the Bullstein Bridge. Still side by side. Hulky just in front, actually. So Hulky and then number 1 Pops just having a little look. Hulky just in front. Number 1 Pops right on his back bumper. It's all about these last few corners. Hulky keeping it tight, keeping it neat and tidy. Number 1 Pops heavily into the barrier there. I think that's going to take a little bit of speed off, and it's going to be Hulky and number 1 Pops that will come across the line dead together. And Hulky spinning number 1 Pops around at the end. Oh, that is a little bit of a friendly nudge. Do not get me wrong. There is no steward's inquiry on that little incident at the end. That is two mates having a bit of banter at the end there, and it's nice to see as they just crossed the line. And thank you to Hulky for hanging back and running with number 1, who had a bit of a mare in that one. Grant is saying 4C reminds me more of the Viper, all about the straights, no corners. It was a bit of a grotty one, that one. And number 1 Pops laughing his head off. Right, that is going to be it. We're 5 to 11. I've got about 15 minutes before the next Group B race, or daily race B, I should say. Do I do it, or do I just have an early night and keep my daily race? And keep my DRA. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to do a race or two in the daily races. Give me a thumbs down if you want me to call it a day there and just keep my A rank race for another time. But Sliced absolutely monstered that one. 8:09.5, the fastest lap. Jacoby was the only other person that was even close. So Sliced, congratulations to you. Zach Vroom in 2nd. Grenster in 3rd, Jacoby in 4th, Denotes 5th, Sam 6th, Ray Purchase 7th, and then Outlaw number 1 Pops in 8th. Hulky and Wills Racing was a DNF, 9th and 10th there. Wills Racing with the issue at the very start of the race there. But Sliced, Zach Vroom and Grenster leading the way to finish off our last one of the night. Right, let's get this one closed off. Grenson says, ask yourself, are you sufficiently awake? I don't know. I'm completely cream crackered. Tom says, keep your eye and go to bed. I'm not going to lie, actually. I am. Those two races earlier on really took it out of me, and I might actually do exactly what you're saying, and I might call it a night because I am very tired. And what I didn't tell you guys is I had a major headache this afternoon, where I stopped working and just went and laid down for an hour. So in actual fact, I think that Grenster and Tom, you're probably right. I think as Gren is saying, if you don't know, you probably are not. And I'm asking the question, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? I think that you're probably right. What I do want to do is I want to get out there, and we got the server maintenance notice tomorrow. I've got some new cars to buy. We've also got the some more daily races to do. With regards to the daily races, not the daily races, I know I'm tired because I'm getting myself completely mixed up and my concentration is completely gone. World circuits. I normally do all of the world circuits, and I record them all, and I'm down to 92%. I have got a Sunday Cup to do. I've got the Japanese FF Challenge to do. I've got the Euro Sunday Cup, probably a couple of races in that to do. We got the Japanese FR Challenge. We've got all sorts to do, lots and lots of different races that I need to do to catch up. It's probably going to be about 10 videos I got to do. So I think that I am probably going to call it a night there, guys. I'm going to bring the stream to an end, have an early night, be refreshed, and work permitting, I may well try and get a couple of daily race videos done and catch up with those. And then I'll come back tomorrow night and maybe do a daily race. Or what I might actually do is just start streaming at 9 o'clock tomorrow and come and race with you guys. I might actually do that. I might not the daily races on the head for this week and come and race with you guys tomorrow night. I think I might quite like to do that. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. 17 people. If you haven't already, please smack the like button. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that has raced this evening. I am going to go and pop a couple of pills because I'm still trying to fight this infection. And then I will see you no later than 9 o'clock tomorrow. For now, have yourselves a great morning, evening, night, afternoon, whatever you're doing. Have a great one. I've got some chicken to put in the freezer. Have a good one. Catch you later. Au revoir. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. And all the other things. See you later. Bye.